alright, man?
All this time, and everything has changed.
Yeah, lots of stuff has happened. Hopefully you've caught up with everything.
For the most part, yes. I can't believe it's been so long. Everything's just so foreign to me now.
Well, at least you decided to come back. We've got some work to do when we get home.
Like what?
I've got a new video in store. I haven't had time to work on it yet, but I'll get to it once I get back.
You're not gonna ask me to do it, are you? I haven't done the video since 2011. I'm out of practice, man.
No, I won't use it right away. This one's gonna be calmer. However, I will need you for future commentaries and videos, usually the ones where I want to convey anger. I'm sure you'll do the best job at that.
Wait, you mean you haven't been angry?
Well...
Oh, fuck off! You're gonna talk about religion like that again? You will know my name is the Lord when I rain my vengeance upon thee! How about you fucking grow a mind if it's so important to you?
I just need someone who can do it more naturally. I'm not one to shout.
Yes, and neither am I.
Oh, so that's what this is about, huh? You're just gonna use me for this one video and then never use me again, huh?
Of course not. I want you to be one of my regulars. I wouldn't have asked you to come back if I didn't need you.
Oh. So what's the video gonna be about?
You'll see once it's done.
You are sure of this one, yes?
I'm absolutely sure.
It's good to be back.
Hey guys, Space Guru 5 here, wishing a happy 2019 to all my friends and subscribers. It's a new year, so why don't we start it off with a commentary on a Neros Q video? That's right on New Year's Day 2019, Neros Q decided to make a commentary on Guru Larry's video talking about the irate gamer. And a few others, but you know, we'll stick to the topic. Considering Neros' previous reputation, I don't expect too much good coming out of this video, but you know what, let's hold out some hope anyway. As an early warning, I'm going to end up skipping a lot of this video, and you'll see why once we get there. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's tune in to start slicing away. No pun intended.
Before we even get to the irate gamer, Larry, you don't seem to have a proper representation of yourself. In almost every video, you use this one still image. So what does that even give us to work with? You're a guy that smiles a lot, does lists, and is fat? Don't get mad at me. I have no idea what else you're like. I'd much rather know what your personality is. Is he nice?
Neros, why the hell are you making such a big deal out of this? You're just nitpicking a small thing that has fuck all to do with the video you're trying to tackle. Besides, people aren't here to see Larry's avatar. They're here to hear him explain 3 YouTube gamers and how they rose and fell in their popularity. Also, I highly doubt you sounding completely unenthused about your video could be a good representation of yourself. Come back when you finally had a good shot of espresso, because right now you sound like you're bored. Before I go on, I just gotta mention this. Larry himself actually commented on your video explaining his choice of avatar, and it's pretty much what I just said. So yeah, you're really doing a bang up job here, guy. I bet the rest of this video will be just fine. After all, why would I be making a commentary about this? It's not like I would make a commentary on this if this was a fucking bad video.
Now that that's out of the way, onto the irate gamer.
Was he any good? Well, he wasn't the best, let's put it at that.
Personally, I wish you said I think he wasn't the best, as that more easily lets the viewer know it's your opinion and not a fact. And on a side note, to people who put a disclaimer in their videos about their statements being opinions, you know that doesn't make everything you say an opinion, right? Sometimes opinions are connected to statements that can be wrong. Like saying birds suck because none of them can fly. The first part is an opinion, but it's followed by evidence that can be easily proven wrong. If you love something, you should set it free. Now that's an opinion.
Well, at least you didn't choose a red herring as your example, because that's exactly what this point is. Look, dude, this is not the place to talk about the difference between facts and opinions. I'm pretty sure people who watch Larry's videos can easily tell facts and opinions just fine anyway. But hey, if condescending is your thing, why should I stop you, right? You should have saved this discussion for some other time, because honestly, that's a valid point. It just has the misfortune of being totally irrelevant here. And before anybody asks, I'm talking about his phrase to the people who put a disclaimer in their videos. As in, the actual disclaimers before the video starts. Again, you have free range of stating this, as I can agree with you on this one. But this isn't the place to put it since you're just ranting about disclaimers. While the previous point was about how Larry should have been more clear that it was his opinion that the Irate Gamer wasn't the best. You should probably reword your point here so that it actually makes sense and connects to your point. You know, just a thought. Just a thought.
Often criticised for his terrible research.
Larry, if you want to talk about terrible research, check that script you wrote. All you showed was an image of him commenting saying that the Sega Master System was made to compete with the NES. That actually is true, you know. It was created as a contender in the 8-bit era.
I swear, it's like you were just looking for any excuse to make Larry look like an idiot who has no idea what he's talking about. You interrupted him mid-sentence to go on about something completely off the topic. Again. You know, maybe it's not Larry who has the hate boner here. Ever think about that?
Irrelevant references, and hilariously incorrect pronunciations of practically everything that came out of his gob.
Okay, first, anyone can reference whatever they want, as long as it relates to the subject at hand. So let's take a look at that clip you just showed us from the I Rate the 80s episode 10, Color Forms. In this clip, Chris is looking at a 3D Thundercats color form. So how in the world is Snarf popping out not relevant? How about you do some research?
At least that espresso finally kicked in. Sure, that clip might have been a bad example. Fine. But the Irate Gamer has made irrelevant references before. For example, his inclusion of the Eggplant Wizard from Kid Icarus, a platformer game, in his review of Tetris and Dr. Mario.
I'm going crazy! I need my Tetris!
Maybe I can help you out.
Eggplant Wizard?
I've got the stuff right here.
Gimme!
I don't want to hear you complain about Larry's supposed lack of research when you clearly didn't do any yourself. Oh, and what was that about opinions being potentially based on false facts?
Next, incorrect pronunciations? Are you really making an argument that he sucks just because he says words wrong sometimes? If someone says a word or phrase wrong, it's usually by accident. And heck, sometimes there's even a cultural difference, like tomato in the UK and tomato in the US. And if you do want them to improve, is ridiculing them for it really helping?
Just to be clear, Larry's not saying that Irate Gamer sucks because he occasionally mispronounced things. He's just saying that he was often criticized, not ridiculed, criticized for these mispronunciations, plus the references and the research and all that hoo-ah. Maybe if you let him finish his sentence before making your interjections, you would have understood that more clearly. But you know, what's done is done.
Case in point, Chris made such a terrible retrospective on the Magnavox Odyssey. It enraged the console's creator, Ralph Baer, to get out of his deathbed to publicly state how ignorant Chris was.
Irrelevant references, and hilariously incorrect pronunciations of practically everything that came out of his gob. Case in point.
Hey Neros, if you actually rewound all the way, you would have heard Larry say this.
Often criticised for his terrible research.
Oh, and what was that point about the Odyssey talking about? Oh, right, Chris doing terrible research. Good work, fuckface.
Do you even read what you include in your video?
Well, you don't read what you include in your video.
If you can enrage a man so much that he's prepared to defy the Grim Reaper to proclaim how crap you are, you must be bad.
Wait, Ralph Baer died in 2014. That email doesn't give a year or date. Defy the Grim Reaper? You're not really suggesting he came back from the dead, are you? Doesn't even make sense. Are you joking? Let me look in that email. So it looks like you took it from the Irate Gamer Sucks blog. Wow, such a creative name. So the email was posted Saturday, March 26, 2011, when Ralph Baer was around 90. So you mean the Irate Gamer's video series, The History of Video Games, was so wrong it caused a dying old man to respond to him. Wouldn't that call for the validity of this email in general? Most 90-year-olds I've encountered can barely dial a phone or remember their kids' names.
You know what? We'll get to that in a second. For now, just know that you're reading way too deep into this joke and making a non-issue into an issue.
What proof do we have that this is even the real Ralph Baer?
It's very simple. Do note that URL at the bottom, www.ralphbaer.com. Now sure, you go there now and click his contact link, the URL doesn't work. However, if you use the Wayback Machine and visit the site in, I don't know, some random date, let's say August 11th, 2005, something back then, you'll find a button that takes you to his contact information. And lo and behold, there's his email address. Oh, and what was that email address in that email again?
Oh my god!
It's the same address as in the contact info. Therefore, this is incontrovertible evidence that Ralph Baer himself sent the email. Tell me again how Larry is the one with bad research. Oh, so enlightened one.
But Chris's biggest criticism of all was his penchant to making videos almost identical to that of James Rolfe, aka the Angry Video Game Nerd.
You know what really ticks me off about this claim? It ignores all the other obvious ripoffs of the AVGN. What about Kid Icarus, Pro Jared, Peanut Butter Gamer, Brutal Moose, Antude, Space Hamster, or even JonTron? Those guys review both old and new video games, and can express extreme emotions towards said games. I've defended this idea many times now, but just because you can argue that a show might be a ripoff, that doesn't mean it's a bad show.
Well, dude, it's not their fault that the AVGN was the most highly prolific game reviewer in his heyday. What really throws me for a loop is your claim that these people all ripped off the AVGN. So, are you saying that someone making game reviews in a very angry fashion is automatically a ripoff of the AVGN? Well then, since you're so concerned about ripoffs, maybe I should let you know that you're a ripoff of Boomstick545 and Retsupre. After all, they were the people who pioneered the CC and a style of commentary way back in 2008. In fact, it was Boomstick who popularized the tradition of cutaway segments to interject your own points. If you want to get technical, the Amazing Atheist did these kinds of cutaways in 2007 even. So I guess you're a rip off of him too. And hey, speaking of ripping off, where'd you get that idea for your commentary sins? It can't possibly be from that hugely popular CinemaSins channel. No, that would be scandalous, a complete blight on the CC. Seriously man, this is pathetically weak for you to bring up. Just because something is derivative doesn't mean it's a rip-off. Derivation is a key part of creativity. How will suit you, me, and every other commentator make videos? And to go back to what Larry was saying, people directly accuse the Irate Gamer of being an AVGN ripoff because many of his early reviews featured references to his behavior and catchphrases. Chris Moores himself claimed that this was because of an Out Nerd the Nerd contest being held at the time, and yes, there is a TV Tropes page corroborating this information. However, once all the controversy started, people overlooked this information for the sake of blind hatred. That's what Larry was talking about here, buddy. Get a clue and put it in your goddamn handy-dandy notebook.
But ignoring that, how about we find out why the Irate Gamer series even started in the first place?
Alright, I'm gonna have to stop you right there before you serve me another red herring. I'll just get this out of the way right now. Larry's video is meant to be a description of the Irate Gamer's rise and fall. That's it. He's not making any seditious remarks about him at all. He's describing the reactions of many people towards him. He's not even saying whether or not he agrees with any of it. Why are you acting like he does? You know, for someone who was so concerned about the difference between facts and opinions early on, you sure as hell confused both of them throughout this entire train wreck. What is the point of you being this harsh when it's very clear that it's for no reason? I really want to know. I want an answer. This video has been replete with all this meaningless dribble, and you clearly only made this video to talk shit about Guru Larry. How am I supposed to take your point seriously when they have no point? There, now I can finally ignore all your damn red herrings. You could open up a seafood restaurant with all that fish lying around, you know?
So, with all this in hand, How did the irate gamer become so popular back then? Well, to simply put it, it was indirectly because of the angry video game nerd. YouTube saw how popular James Rolfe was becoming on the site, but their biggest issue with him was his rather colourful choice of language. Sounding familiar, eh?
Wait, you're saying that they wanted to feature Angry Video Game Nerd, but since his show had colorful language, they couldn't, but they chose Irate Gamer to feature because he also had colorful language? That doesn't even make sense!
So, they went looking for a less sweary, more family-friendly alternative.
So now you're saying he doesn't have colorful language? Did you mean to say, I think YouTube wanted to feature someone like the AVGN, but they wanted someone who wasn't as vulgar as him, so instead they went with the Irate Gamer?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he just said. He wasn't being inconsistent about the Irate Gamer using profanity, unlike what you're trying to claim here. I don't see what's so hard to understand about this. I know his British accent is noticeable, but come on, it's not that hard for you to understand.
And less sweary was literally YouTube's choice of words too.
Oh no, don't tell me you're gonna take another one of Larry's jokes too seriously.
What? Sir Edwin YouTube? Founder of YouTube.com?
Yep, you are. I am genuinely not surprised. Okay, I'm just gonna stop this video right here. This is something I've always been bothered by. Why do you feel the need to depict violence like this? It just comes off as more standoffish and being more like an edgelord than anything else. And yeah, it's absolutely unnecessary. If this was cartoon violence like you happen to depict in the thumbnail for this video, then I wouldn't care. However, the fact that you included sounds of blood and gore, not to mention the fact that you have your character covered in Guru Larry's blood, really makes you seem like a violent asshole, even with that disclaimer you put in your video. I don't know where you got this idea of murdering characters from, but you really need to stop doing this if you want people to take you more seriously as a commentator. Come on, you are not fucking El Chapo. That's the way this Roadrunner runs. This video was just a mess. I mean, an absolute fucking mess. It was full of rambling nonsense, pointless tangents, and unwarranted hatred for Guru Larry. Which is pretty ironic considering you criticized him for supposedly hating the Irate Gamer. How about practice what you preach for once? And while you're at it, try making a good commentary. The CC doesn't need shit like this. That's about it for today, folks. I'm Space Guru 5, and, as always, take care. For fuck's sake, I better get a damn Purple Heart medal for this shit.
David ties the brave.